Phil Dowd's whistle blows then. And we're underway in the second half with Chris Riggott in possession. And he goes back to Mark Schwarzer in the Borough goal. Schwarzer just comes out as he attempts to get the best distance possible on his clearance. Right-footed it goes into that Manchester City half. From the back by Michael Ball. Vassell is milling around, but the ball is back with Chris Riggott again. And to Luke Young on the right-hand side, one of two Borough players booked in the first half, the other being Emmanuel Pogatetz, who's on the ball now. Pogatetz left-hand side. Up for Alves, got his back to goal. He's looking for the run of Stuart Downing, but he went the other way instead. Got a bit lucky and got the ball back from Stephen Ireland. Now Rockenbach again. Rockenbach chips over the top, whereas Stuart Downing's offside.
Hey, what skill though, eh? I think Stewie was just offside. The linesman far side, his flag went up straight away, but great bit of skill to control the ball, wriggle away from a defender and just clip that outside that right foot of his into the path of Stewie Downing, just offside, but great skills.
So free kick to Manchester City. The mist doesn't show any signs of getting any lighter or lifting here. Free kick is taken, it's headed away by Pogatetz, picked up by Ireland. Luca at the back for City. Sun Ji Hai gets in a muddle. And Rockenbach almost sped Tunjai down that left-hand side. Free kick, rather throw-in. Right-hand side. Sun Ji Hai to take it. Vassell flicks on. There's Wheater. I understand Chelsea's match is running very late at Stamford Bridge, which Sir Alex Ferguson probably won't be happy about. Here's George Boateng into Julio Arca. Chelsea 0, Bolton 0 at the moment. And Wigan 0, Manchester United 1. Important scores at the top. Pogatetz. Pogatetz is fouled. Left-hand side by Castillo, and it'll be a Borough free kick.
Yeah, it was definitely a little trip. I think when the ball came to Emmanuel Pogatetz, he couldn't get the ball out from under his feet. His first touch wasn't great, and then eventually he did get the ball under control, and Castillo, more an attacking-minded player, you could see that in the challenge. It was quite a start the second half, isn't it? I think a lot of the fans have enjoyed the interval, probably a bit too much, just making their way back to the seats.
Extremely low-key start. They've had 3 minutes. Riggott towards David Wheater, who's still up there from that free kick. For a throw-in on the right-hand side, which he takes himself into Julio Arca. Arca with a good ball out to the left. Stuart Downing. Downing into the penalty area. Felt he was blocked off by Sun Ji Hai, and he was right on the edge of that penalty area.
Well, he's very determined when he got the ball there, Stewie Downing, to drop his shoulder and go down the line, and I'm not so sure it was a free kick, I'll be honest with you, because I think Sun Ji Hai did really quite well there to read Stewie Downing's intention, but the referee gave that one to us. It's a really good position with Fabio Rockenbach on it. It could have been a penalty actually, Paul, a couple of inches the other way, because it's right on the line. Fabio's on it. All the big guns have gone forward, and why not? Because this is a good position for Fabio to whip the ball in.
How much do you want to bet that if it was inside the penalty area, it wouldn't have been a penalty?
No, it wouldn't have been given. I'd actually, like I said, I don't think it was a free kick really, but there we go.
Free kick, Rockenbach to take it. I think he's going to have a shot. He is! Saved by Isaacson, up in the air. Danger is not clear, but it is now because he's caught it.
He did well there, Isaacson, because as that ball came in, and it was fiercely struck there from Fabio Rockenbach, Alves shot across the goalkeeper, shot across his line of vision, doing his best to put him off or try and get a slightest kind of a nick on the ball himself to try and redirect past the goalkeeper, and that must have had an effect on Isaacson, but he did well to keep his eye on the ball, get a little bit of a punch on it, and then come out the second time to collect.
It's Everton 1, Newcastle 1. Michael Owen with a penalty equaliser for Newcastle, and it is a Birmingham 1, Blackburn 1. Birmingham hearts sinking a little bit there. Morten Gamst Pedersen with the equaliser for Blackburn. Manchester City have a free kick on the right-hand side. Martin Petrov is on this one. City have plenty of men forward, left-footed into the box, headed out by Stuart Downing, back there defending. Tunjai onto George Boateng. Boateng can get the better of his man and maybe get Borough on the break here with Arca, centre circle. Arca plays it to Downing, and Downing just couldn't locate where the ball was for a sec there.
Well, Julio, he had options, didn't he? George Boateng playing that square ball into him, so much on in front of him. He's Sunjay again.
Borough on the attack once more, but he's lost it.
Yeah, he just lost out there. I think Sunjay, he should have put the ball out right to George Boateng, but there we go, he's a chance for Manchester City.
Castillo's in the box. Mark Schwartz has forced him a little wide. He's all on his own here. He's looking for Vassell. Vassell's header, and he's plonked his header wide.
Well, where do you start with that passage of play? Opportunities for us going forward, and then a long ball out of their half catches us offside because David Wheater goes with the run of the substitute Neri Castillo. Our line was again confused because I think Emmanuel Pogatetz had his hand in the air looking for an offside. Fortunately, the angle for Castillo was too acute in the end. He's got to come back across the box, and he flighted a lovely little ball into the path of Darius Vassell. His diving header was a bit like a dying swan, and it went wide of the target. Plenty going on, Paul, after that flat start.
He had a bit of a Toblerone head there, didn't he, Vassell?
Yep, biscuits in head.
Here's Wheater who clears. Let's go down the pitch side. Here's...
He was a mile offside. Gareth Southgate just said to Mo Matador, the linesman, he said, he was that far off, you must have missed him. What a bizarre decision. I prefer the term Tifa-led, by the way, for Darius Vassell there. Interestingly, half-time, Micah Richards, injured at the moment, comes out and says, where can I get a pie? That sums up Manchester City this afternoon.
Other kettles and electrical goods and Swiss chocolates are available, of course. Here's a throw into Manchester City, left-hand side. And it's still 2-0. The second half's been a bit weird. It hasn't quite got into gear, and yet there've been a few opportunities at either end. Here's Fernandez towards the left-hand side. And that's Petrov to Sun Ji-hai. Very strange ball, but Sun Ji-hai won the header, but it's straight back to Schwarzer via Riggett.
Yeah, Mark mentioned Micah Richards. They've missed him, Paul, haven't they? He's some player as a right back or a centre half. Fantastic player, fantastic prospect for England, and he's been a big loss to them while he's been injured. He really has a real threat. The set pieces in the other end of the football pitch as well.
I think that's about the first time seen Sven on his feet, haven't we? He's in the edge of the technical area.
No, he's getting a bit cold.
Michael Ball up to the chest of Vassell, and Petrov out to the right-hand side. Castillo again. Had that little run earlier that set Borough hearts fluttering a bit. It's cut out by Fabio Rockenbach. Now Stuart Downing plays a 1-2 with Rockenbach, and again Downing along the left-hand side. Tunjai getting into the centre. Rockenbach into the penalty area. It's all a bit tight. Alves is there, and Fabio Rockenbach, he just jogs around, doesn't he? And if he gets the ball anywhere near him, then fine, he'll create a bit of magic or embarrass himself, but he's like trots around in circles. Here's Boateng. Boateng over the top. Alves chests to Tunjai. And now the left, Stuart Downing again. Downing's got space here, but he manages to hit Sun Ji-hai's backside with his cross. And yet again, Sun Ji-hai blocks him off, free kick, and he's going to be booked.
Well, I didn't think the first one a couple of minutes ago was a free kick, Paul. I thought it was a little bit unfair on the defender, but that was absolutely blatant, wasn't it? And that, watching that, you turn on and say that defender does not relish the prospect of Stewie Downing running at him. He made no attempt to do any defending. He just thought, listen, this guy, he's just going to embarrass me. I'll just foul him. I'll just be cynical. I'll just give him a free kick and save my skin a little bit. Now, he's another great opposition, isn't it? You got Fabio Rockenbach on the ball, intent, I would assume, at just whipping this in with his right foot towards that back post, looking to score himself direct perhaps, or more likely looking to get our players getting across the line of the ball and getting a touch of it.
Rockenbach puts it into the penalty area. Picked out where all the Borough players had run from. Pogatetz picks it up on the left-hand side. Still Borough 2-0 up here on Manchester City. Riggett heads back into the area to Wheater. Wheater, great skill, David Wheater. Great save again. Wheater again. Ball is loose in the penalty area, and eventually Isaacson smothers it.
Well, Fernandez did well defensively. Isaacson. David Wheater, great feat when he picked the ball up, Paul. If he goes down from that challenge from Michael Ball, it's a penalty. And I think the referee was looking to give him the penalty, but maybe a bit too honest for his own good, stays on his feet, gets his shot off. After that, you've got to say good defending from their point of view.
Absolutely fantastic close control and skill from Wheater though in the box. And we know he fancies himself as a bit of a striker as well. Brilliant stuff. And not so from George Boateng, who plays it out into touch for a Manchester City throw-in. Borough 2, Manchester City 0, 10 minutes gone in this second half at the Riverside Stadium. Run down the other scores and situation in a second. David Wheater heads out from the back towards Alves, is beaten to it by Chorluka. Now Stephen Ireland, been quiet this afternoon. Fernandez up to Vassell. 10-man Manchester City keeping possession of the ball for a little while. Ireland to the left and Petrov returns it down the left-hand side. Decent move, but it all breaks down the edge of the Borough box.
You know what, Paul, to be fair to them, they still pass the ball really, really well. Stephen Ireland does ever so well when he gets a hold of the ball, and Mark Petrov links up well with him. Castillo, the substitute's not bad, it's seemingly to me, and it all adds to it being an open game.
Alves for the Borough. Finds George Boateng on that right-hand side. Boateng in field. Julio Arca's there. Arca with the ball up towards Stuart Downing. He just slipped in the penalty area, but he was offside. The linesman, again, late with a flag, which is the rule, but it annoys the crowd and everybody gets confused. Anyway, it's free kick to City.
I think it was really, really late though, Paul. That flag came up after Stewie had taken a touch of the ball, and it was almost like the linesman didn't expect it on the end of it, so he wouldn't have bothered, and then reacted after Stewie got a touch, and it looked as if that the Manchester City defence might find themselves in a few problems. Great knock, wasn't it? Julio Arca from that central area with that left foot of his pinged out there to Stewie, and a really clever run from Stuart Downing.
David Wheater, left-footed, up and under. Headed forward by Downing towards Tunjai. Chorluka's across, that'll be a Borough corner. First corner of the second half.
Well, Stewie Downing winning the header there against Sunji High. Just releasing Tunjai, ever willing to do that stuff. Tunjai, unselfish running. Tried to flick the ball inside of Chorluka. Tried to nutmeg him actually and get it on his right foot and look to finish. And managed to put the ball out for the corner kick, so it's a good option for us.
7 corners to Manchester City's none. Stuart Downing from this left-hand side is going to swing this one in. Went wide, and Riggott had to manage to get a right foot on and just hook it somewhere near a Borough player, and that player is Fabio Rockenbach. And now George Boateng, left-footed cross into the box, good cross as well. Downing! Oh, what a stunning goal from Stuart Downing! Gareth Southgate wanted him to score 2 this afternoon, and Stewie Downing has responded with a brace, and what a fantastic volley! And hey, what about this? Borough have scored 3 goals in a match! Would you believe it?
Hey, that's brilliant. Really, just leave it at that, Paul. That's just brilliant. First of all, George Boateng down the right-hand side, whipping the thing in with his left foot. Was a peach of a ball. I think Alves got a touch on it, which stopped the defenders getting any distance on any attempted clearance. The ball hung in the air for ages. Stewie Downing had one thing on his mind and one thing only, to keep his eyes on that ball, wait for it to drop so he can finish, hit through the ball but through the outside of his left foot so it bends in at the back post. And hey, that's easy to say, Paul. He's just done it. That's magnificent, and that sums up Stewie Downing this season. Well done to him.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Standout Borough player of the season. He started every game in the Premier League, and he's now got 10 goals for the season. 3 goals in a match.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Everyone's going to go home delighted. Hey, so easy to snatch that, Paul. So easy to take your eye off the ball when the defender's charging out trying to put you off. So easy to do all that, but the composure and the concentration and the focus and then the technique to be able to finish like that, that is special.
Sunji High robbed by Stuart Downing. Tunjai almost played in. Alves might still happen. Alves is onside. Are we going to see 4? Afonso Alves, we are! Yes, we are! The ball just creeps over the line, similar to the Sunderland goal, and Afonso Alves scored. Hey, these Borough goals are like London buses. You wait all season and hardly any come along, and now on the last day of the season, we've got 4
great little knock, Julio Arca, after a bit of unbelievable play before that. Alves 1v1 with Isaacson. To be fair to the goalkeeper, he's done ever so well to get a save. The ball's trickling goalwards. It's a great little finish from Alves as well. A proper goal scorer's finish again. The ball's trickling goalwards. Fernandez coming back, I think, trying his best to hook the ball out before he crosses the line, but couldn't do that. Instead slides into the back of the net with the ball. What a finish to the season, Paul. Hasn't it been this so far?
We predicted that there'd be goals this afternoon, possibly. And we're going to have loads of changes shortly. I've got some important goals to tell you about. West Ham 1, Aston Villa 2. Barry. And now if Newcastle can get a goal to beat Everton, then Villa would nick that UEFA Cup spot, I reckon. And it's Derby 0, Reading 2. Dave Kitson for Reading, which means that it all stays the same there. Reading would survive at the expense of Fulham and Birmingham. Here's Sun Ji Hai. 4-0 to the Borough here. We've still got just under half an hour to play. Sun Ji Hai from Pogatetz is a goal kick. Let's get the changes, Mark.
There's the cheer for Afonso Alves as the ball goes up for Manchester City. First of all, it's going to be like bingo this, all the numbers going up. Dietmar Hamann is coming on for Darius Vassell. That tells you something, doesn't it? They're trying to score it up and hold on to a 4-0 lead. My word. Two changes for Ali Adier and Johnson are coming on shortly. First of those changes will be Adam Johnson, Julio Arca. I think Julio's been struggling a little bit. Good round of applause for Arca, but he's been holding his hamstring, his left hamstring. I think he's been struggling a little bit, so that's a precautionary change. Adam Johnson to replace him, and Jeremy Ali Adier will replace so it's Sunshine and Alves up front. Just a word on Stuart Downing. When he got his second, fulfilling the prediction of his manager, great round of applause for Tunjai. When he got his second, he went over to Gareth Southgate and he went, 15? I'll go for 15. Confidence for Stuart Downing.
4-0 then as they make the changes here this afternoon. What a final afternoon.
Well, I think that's good for the manager to make the changes, Gareth. Allow Tunjai to get the kind of ovation he deserves because he's been excellent this season. Great opportunity for Johnson to see a little bit of first before the summer break. That's good. Just a bit of discussion alongside of me here, Paul, regarding the fourth goal. I hope they don't give it as an own goal to Fernandez, even though the ball hadn't crossed the line before he get the final touch. I think that'd be very harsh on Alves.
Yeah, it would. Absolutely right.
But the talk is he might get that.
Adam Johnson to back. It's been to argue about that later on. Rockenbach to Luke Young down there on the right-hand side. Rockenbach again. Pogatetz with a first-time layoff for George Boateng, is now the centre, of course, because Johnson's gone to that right-hand side. Fantastic atmosphere here at the Riverside. Fantastic afternoon. Free kick to the Borough. Right-hand side. Foul on Adam Johnson by Dietmar Hamann. Other scores: Birmingham 1, Chelsea 0, Bolton 0, Derby 0, Everton 1, Newcastle 1, 0-0 Portsmouth, Fulham, Sunderland 0, Arsenal 1, Spurs 0, Liverpool 0, West Ham 1, Aston Villa 2, and Wigan 0, Manchester United 1. United the champions as things stand. Derby, Fulham, Birmingham down in the UEFA Cup spot. Rockenbach's free kick to the edge of the box. Adam Johnson nods it forward. The ball is in the back. Up. Chris Riggott again. Was last week, but the offside flag up early on.
Great finish, wasn't it? Great little knock, a little touch from Adam Johnson. Not so sure Chris Riggott was offside. A replay shortly. Sure else Jeremy Aliadier drift into an offside position, but it was a great finish. Obviously top of his game. That spell at Stoke's done him the world of good. He's come back here, the world beater. But look at Manchester City now, Paul. They're playing with Martin Petrov up front by himself. They're obviously 10 men. Dietmar Hamann, Johnson. the right-hand flank there because he's obviously very frustrated. Now, this, you can see that if there was any doubt about Sven getting the bullet, I think it's been put to rest, hasn't it? Because it's a sorry state for them out there right now.
It is. Wheater. They might as well have Michael Ball at the back as well. Here's Chris Riggett. Riggett to Young. Borough 4, Manchester City 0. And what a final day. Fabio Rockenbach. Riggett. Great atmosphere. The Borough fans are in fine form, as you would expect. The City fans are still enjoying their afternoon as well. Stuart chases down a lost cause there as Sun Ji Hai just sees it over the line. Manchester City throw-in right near the corner flag in their own half of the field.
When it was 2-0, we were saying, I wonder if we can get it today. Let's had our wishes and got 3, and now we've got 4, and now let's be even greedier. We are Alves to get a trick each, or one of them. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, 6 would be good. 3 each, 6. That's a nice ring to it. Sun Ji Hai, Petrov, Dietmar Hamann, Sun Ji Hai again. Castille on the right-hand side. Of course, this for Borough, coupled with defeat against Manchester United, as things mean Borough moved up, and that's the difference between they could finish as high as 35.7 million in prize money and as low as 16, 3 million quid's difference. Ali on the right side, Derby 0, Reading 3, Kevin Doyle. Back into the box, Adam Johnson trying to work down, he shoots over the top.
Good game, wasn't it? Adam Johnson, he had the opportunity, you sensed or you felt to unleash himself, but there was a lot of body in front of him. Instead, unselfishly, and good as well, just as he struck the ball, Stewie, and that's when he went over the top. I think Isaacson might have touched the ball. It should have been a corner kick, but the strike from Stewie wasn't he was after. That
Chelsea 1, Bolton 0. Andrei Shevchenko, squeaky bum time for Manchester United fans who are still leading at Wigan. So Shevchenko, Chelsea 1, Bolton 0, and Kevin Doyle with that, Reading 3rd. Puggets back from Stu Downing. Into Boateng across the halfway line for Luke. 23 minutes gone in the second half at the Riverside. Adam Johnson running at the Man City defence, and Michael takes the tap. He gives it away to George Boateng. Rockenbach makes a hash of his crossfield ball. Sun Ji Hai, it's clear, but there's a foul Alves to possession again for the Borough. Inside their own half with Wheater and Boateng. And now Rockenbach for Luke Yadier to Johnson. Borough playing the ball about really well here. Rockenbach gets again. Plays it back to Boateng. Now Pogatetz on the left inside the Manchester City half. Boateng to Alves again. Boateng's Stuart Downing on this left-hand side. Loads of Borough possession here. Alves to Chris Riggett in the outfield half. Riggett for Young. The crowd begin to cheer every complete pass again.
It's demoralising, Paul, when you're the opposition and you're down and Tonk 4 out, and the home side are just passing the ball around as if match. It's absolutely demoralising. Eventually, someone, as I said in the first half, sleeps in, or somebody cracks and commits a foul or something, or gives up. Just happened there.
We've got it back. Adam Johnson, left-footed shot, deflected and in! It's number 5. The deflection, wrong-footed Isaacson in the ball number 5 of the afternoon, turning into a right old rout.
Well, good for him. Good Adam Johnson. He hasn't much first action back from Watford and a massive sense of good fortune there with the shot from outside the box, because it would have been a forward save for Isaacson. Michael Ball has redirected it hapless bit into the back of the net. But I think we all thought we had a chance of winning this game today, Paul, because we've beaten Portsmouth this week and around the place.
Even his left of a substitute.
Yeah, this is what is it? Stable doors, horses, grass, the rest of it. Alano's on. What difference can he make, poor bloke? In pet, who look as a chip.
And here comes City forward with Castillo going it all alone, and eventually crowded Pogatet. All of the season for Borough, and he might get that taken off him as well. Let's hope not. Riggott back. BBC T.
I don't think he will, because anyway, I mean, Al definitely shouldn't get his stuff in, but that shot was on target, was it not? Or would have been on target?
Offside flag up. Jeremy Aliad again.
Like I said, Adam Jones would have been target, and so that would be hard to take. There's again there, wasn't it, from Aliad, just drifting offside, not by much, just television cameras panning in on Sven-Göran Eriksson. His features rarely anything. That's the case here. He looks just rather passive and pensive, but he'd be gutted, Paul. He'd be gutted deep down.
He's had a rough with and the pants of losing his job, doing so well, and this afternoon, what a nightmare. Voronen for Liverpool, so they're 1-0 up. Spurs 0, Liverpool 1, 6th goal of the season for Voronen there. Dietmar Hamann, Manchester City for former to Fernandez. City just look absolutely dead and buried. They are, of course. Here's Elano, scored twice in the reverse in the season, which City won 3-1. Hamann again, stringing a few passes together, 10-man until a big badly. Pogatet turns in, casting back to Pogatet's again. 20 gone in the second half. Long to the left, controlled brilliantly by Alves. As for Downing, Pogatet's come to put. Callum put Birmingham ahead again. They lead Black 2-1, but it's not good enough.
Paul, you've got to smile, you've got to laugh, because the man's shouting 5-0, but then
here's Elano again. City for a 5. Fernandez already this up. Icing on the really defending done by David Wheater there. Rockenbach. We're going to bring on Tony McMahon shortly. He's just down there getting. Good defense. Yeah, Chor Luca or Alves might have been in for hat-trick. Elano in and around the halfway line. Southgate's to tunnel. Fulham have scored. Fulham have scored at Portsmouth, which changes everything. It means Reading, despite losing, winning 3-0.
Well, you said it earlier, didn't you, about other games in the term. Well, there's one for you. Be nice for them to still really feel that.
Roy Hudd. Job. This afternoon.
Voice sounds like
Danny Murphy has scored the goal that could kill them in the Premier League. We're on the attack looking for number 6. Say that very often.
sounds good.
In my 335 matches thus far, this big last one. You'll a change.
The nice to the Borough manager who's had for me excellent season is the man to make way. Replacing him, Tony McMahon, who has played a game for 2 years here at the Borough. He's had injuries and he's on and get a few minutes of at the end of the season. And there's a good cheer. Well thought of, isn't he?
Yeah, McMahon's given the win. Horrific injury problems, and let's hope they're all kind. And Luke Young has a terrific season.
Well, just repeat, Mark. He's been fantastic. He's got a wonderful goal against Tottenham, against his old club. I remember it seems a long time ago now. Massively been very loves to get forward. Goodbye. Nice to see Tony McMahon on the pitch. He has had a terrible time through injury or injury. Fully and nice back in interesting.
Spurs 2 from number 30 season for and Everton 2, Newcastle 1. Ollie and Scott long ball forward towards It's just too far ahead of him. So Everton back against Newcastle, and so they'll finish if the same. Leicester is another man who's had a terrific season during the made England to Ilano City. Sunji to Ilano again. City looking for as Ilano left-footed picks a Borough fan in the crowd behind the goal there.
Well, this match quick enough for Manchester City to see. Quick enough. Ilano, first half of the season, up in that position, Paul. Now, he's a terrific player, but I think you're climbing to City there.
Goal kick. Mark Schwarzer takes it short, and out to Chris Rigger. Schwarzer gets it back for dead. Borough 5, City 0. BBC 95 FM, DAB, digital radio. Here's John Stevens again. Left-hand side. Fabio Rockham involved as he had this afternoon. Indiscretion when he booted John for no good reason. He's been terrific, Fabio Rockham back. And if this is the last we see of him, which is like, then he'll leave us.
Not as well, but today he's been, well, hey, we keep repeating ourselves. These moments of the highest, and I'm looking to the second the Alves is in this match, and you know, capable of terrible on a football pitch. If you could become more consistent, dear me, what a world beat you got on your hand.
Pogatet's to Fabio Rockham back, spreads the pass on that right side, brings the ball down on his chest, and George Boateng, who's in back available, turns 180 degrees, finds David Rita. Pogatet, that Danny Murphy got on 76 minutes, by the way, the goal that might keep them up. Boateng to Alves on the area. George Boateng right at the cherry, and he's
well, it's 35 yards out, and Alves shot straight across with him. Might have who gets the chance to this. He's going to have a good
position. This one for a 5 to the good on BBC T. So 642 555 if you want to talk to us after until 6, then at CT at least half of the season review to get through. They hear from Gareth Southgate as well. You want to know what to do with it? 5 Phil 10 backs on it. Afonso Alves has gone into the penalty area. Here's Rockham back. He scored! My word, that is absolutely fantastic! There was going to be an afternoon where Fabio Rockham was going to score one. It's going to be simply tonight because that's the whole season.
well. What a free kick! What a free kick! You couldn't actually look up to the goal, Paul, and handle that on your hand and play the spot. In power, accuracy and pace that Isaacson, who's got a cross, has got no chance. It's unbelievable for goals. He's had a hand in that, which I think is the second goal because they built. But you've got the from Stewie, which is an absolute gem, and that free kick, definitely, as far as we're concerned, must be a goal of this season. A player who allegedly is going to be leaving in the summer. Unbelievable.
I can't believe it. I can't. The throw. Can go down a pitch.
Hey, guess what? Who can't believe it? Borough bench. People who can't believe it, they all turn around and laugh at each other, and the crowd. Oh, there you go. There's Fabio spooning it up in the air. And just before he took the whole river end of him as well, because his hat trick. That's just Fabio Rock. He's frankly ridiculous.
The way it's behind the he stepped up laughing like Ellie because this
Johnson crossing to the box. So Ali Adier almost. Well, I wasn't anywhere near it to be, but the intention was right. It could have been 7.
I want us to stop. Starting to feel too. He looks like he's all over the place, the poor thing. But, oh dear. It's a strike that is Fabio. It's an unbelievable. An afternoon, Dad. I mean, he's batting only after 15 minutes. Here we go. Fabio finish this on a ball. And then some of the football we've seen from him all season. Cold, probably season as far as we're concerned.
Nearly 10 minutes left.
Like I said, I think we've done enough now. I feel sorry for him.
It's elsewhere. Manchester United still lead Wigan 1-0. Chelsea is still 1 up on Bolton. So it's United's title at the moment by goal difference alone. They'll be in the Arsenal, Liverpool place Everton for that. They lead 2-1 on Newcastle. And at the and both win, but it's not enough because Fulham survive. Hey, I'll tell you what, Wigan 0, Manchester United 2. Ryan Giggs, right fitting, isn't it, that Ryan Giggs has been around forever. Scores second, gives them a bit of space at the JJ Stadium. Looks like the title heading back there. The other shot, and the closest coming the second half.
Chance, wasn't it? Trap beaten Castillo, good run. I think Manuel Tet went with him. Maybe it was Tet who played him off. He had the opportunity when he took his first touch, and I think Mark coming off his line. He had the opportunity. Castillo took another touch and blazed it wide of the target.
Everton, Castle 1. Second. Here's Rockenbach. City 0. Ali Adair. This left hand side. Infield to George Boateng. 7 minutes. Down to Rockenbach for George Boateng. Boateng left footed. Ball went to one and Rockenbach took up. Here's onside Ali. 7-0! And Jeremy Allen hears it on the air. A magnificent 7 for the Borough. And I tell you what, expectation is going notch after notch after goal 7-0.
It's unbelievable. I'm actually spinning the ball because every go forward, you know what? We go forward with score. This is unbelievable. Lovely ball from Stewie Downing. A touch Ali Adier across Isaacson in at the back post. It's going in. They're actually absolute. They've been out on the at 2-0. It's just because they meant ball. Because and 10 to a football game. The second goal killed them, but there's a goal. It's not just because they've been down to 10 that we battered these 7-0. So our players get credit for this. Sometimes it's actually quite difficult. Well, we've disproved that theory massively today.
Let's have a word.
Well, have a word with Warren Eric. He's out to him. He's there. He is watching. He doesn't look angry. He knows the point being angry. He's just scratching his foot. He's just confused as to what inspired to throw this afternoon. In so many years, and all the crowd are singing "Who are you?" at him, the poor sod. It's ridiculous. They've been the Borough as the going retires to the bench. Probably it's time.
Manchester City have the ball. Luca back to Isaacson. He clears it. Ali Adier and the ball to Tuck. 7. I can't say it enough. Borough 7, Manchester City 0.
Before the game, scored 35-37, and with all an area to improve next season to see any success. Well, it started, hasn't it? Yes, Manchester City down to 10, and the influential leaves the. Even at that stage, would expect us to go on and be so clinical.
They're back at least. Put it, they one as well. From Milan, left foot, and the Borough are applauding as well as the Manchester City fans. Mark Schwartz, not a prayer. It's 7.
Brilliant finish from a lovely body. Right outside the box. A jink, a finish with his left foot, like an arrow, into the back. Mark Watson is very rare left while position scored a goal, but because the fans shot to their feet and we're all applauding the finish as well. It's been that afternoon, hasn't it?
It's been an incredible afternoon. Clean sheet, but can't go 7 at the other end. And Borough on the attack again. Can they get it? Stewart. Haman heavy when clearing it. Michael does. Tony McMahon. Back heel from excellent stuff in the air. Tried to get it to him, but it's back with Dixon. Easy goal. 2 minutes and time left. Manchester City 1.
A little bit of summer in the Man City fans. There's been a lot known of football, not for them, but they've been well spirited despite the events on the pitch. I hope it doesn't spoil this afternoon.
Yeah, it's having the police at the involved in it, and Manchester tier to get into the bottom tier. We could do well without that. 4, Roy Lee, but they're still going down. Unbelievable. The last afternoon of the Premier League, because Fulham are leading Portsmouth by a goal to 0 still. Head off down a pitch side.
What's going on down there? I think maybe some fans are. It looks like the police and the stewards seem to have got it all under control again, and they're singing, but it wasn't either. Just what we're going to have, if doubt as a trait of human kindness, won't bother, because Ben Joran does not need 3 minutes of added time. He's sending the message, so we will see very shortly, but isn't it ridiculous sometimes?
Here's Alves! Let's go! Afonso Alves has scored a hat-trick! His first inning goal, and it's 8! That is 8!
Well, absolutely remarkable stuff. Absolutely remarkable, Paul. Great down in who took the ball off their defender. But hey, that's 7-1 with literally seconds left in the match. I suppose you could give their defence. Played here, Ali aware of our post, completely unmarked, did finish himself. He played the percentages, squeezed the ball to Alves. Ali may score a goal, Paul, in that position, but Alves definitely done what he's done. That's 8-1. That's what I've seen this afternoon.